Let's look at the characteristics of mid-latitude cyclone as indicated here on your exam guidelines. Then we have uh, characteristics and the area of formation and the condition necessary for mid-latitude cyclone to form. So let's move. Here we have the origin. You must know the origin where mid-latitude cyclone forms in order for you to explain how did mid-latitude cyclone form. So the origin of mid-latitude cyclones, they originate when tropical westerlies warm tropical easterlies warm tropical westerlies means that when warm tropical westerlies at 30 degrees north south meet with cold polar easterlies 90 north or south at the polar front. The polar front is this region here. This is the polar front. Basically, mid-latitude cyclone occurs at this point. So it occurs when warm tropical westerlies winds meet these winds meet with the cold polar easterlies. This is where mid-latitude forms. Same applies in the northern hemisphere. Yeah, that's the origin of mid-latitude cyclone. So we have the alternate names of mid-latitude cyclone from different region. Here in South Africa, we can call it mid-latitude cyclone. In Australia, they can call it frontal depression, or they can call it frontal depression. You can call it extratropical cyclone. And these terms might come in your multiple choice questions. So we have the general characteristics as indicated in your exam guideline. The general characteristics of the mid-latitude cyclone. I want us to break these characteristics one by one. So you must know them, because sometimes they might ask you the proof, give us evidence why you say this is a mid-latitude cyclone. You must say that it occurs between 60 and 30 north-south latitudes. Also, you can give evidence that it moves from west to east, or you can say easterlies, meaning that mid-latitude cyclones, they move in this way. They come from the west to east, they go to this direction, while the tropical cyclone, which we are going to deal with, they they start from the right to the left, which we can call them westerlies. But this one is a mid latitude, this one is a tropical cyclone. Right, so let's move. There's this other reason which it applies to any question, whether the evidence might not be. Sometimes the evidence of 30 to 60 might not been presented on your photos on those diagram in your exams, but the most relevant one which you can be safe when you write it is this one. It is being stirred by westerlies. It's stirred by westerlies wind belts. It is the word stirred means it is driven by the westerlies. That's why it moves from west to east. So it's been driven by the westerlies. The other reason you can give, the temperate cyclone consists of fronts. Yeah, the other evidence of mid-latitude cyclone or general characteristics, it can be seen by fronts. You can see them by fronts. Unlike the tropical cyclone, which is being represented by an eye, tropical cyclone is being represented by eye. The reason why I also explain the tropical cyclone, I want you to get the difference between the mid-latitude cyclone and the tropical cyclone. Tropical cyclone is represented by France. Whenever you see France, you must know that this is a mid-latitude cyclone. They may ask you that what kind of cyclone is this one. If you see France, you see that is mid-latitude cyclone. But whenever you see this arrow, I don't know, let me check if I drawing an eye, means that is a tropical cyclone. So the size, the diameter, they are very large with the diameter of 1000 kilometers. They occur throughout the year but mainly affect in winter. Yeah, you must also give this reason, because whenever they may say, let's say this is a synoptic weather map. Let me take an example from this. We have a synoptic weather map like this one, and they give you these things. They say they gave you 01 06, which is June 2024. You must give them that. You must give the evidence that this is winter. Then you'll be accurate. So mid-latitude cyclone mainly occur in winter. So let's move. It lasts between 4 days to 14 days. Then let's move on. uh, Everything that you do, you must also refer to your exam guideline. So in the exam guideline, there's this bullet: condition necessary. We've already covered the area, the general characteristics. Now we are going to condition necessary for the formation, which is this bullet. This bullet here: condition necessary for the formation of mid-latitude cyclone. So let's get to it. Okay, they say warm subtropical air meet with the cold polar air at the polar front. What basically this means that your warm subtropical air meet with the cold polar air at what? At the cold front. Cold front is this one. I mean polar front is this one. You know, front is a zone which separates two different air masses. So both air masses move parallel to each other in opposite direction. This means that warm air, let me show you something. And then they say warm subtropical air meet with the cold polar air at the polar front. When we are dealing with the formation of mid-latitude cyclone, this is what they say. Say warm subtropical air. Let's say this is your earth. Yeah, if you do, it's at low. So we have that polar air, polar front, which is this one. We have your polar front. So basically what they mean, they said that warm air, which warm subtropical air meet with the cold polar air and they move parallel. And look at this thing, because in the past few years they brought this multiple choice question where you must indicate whether this, where you have to indicate whether this is warm air and this is cold air. So they gave the AB. So you must know as a geographer that warm air will always rise, will always be on top of cold air. So meaning that this is a warm air, then this is the cold air, which they move parallel at the cold front, at the polar front. All those things are happening here. All those things. So let's move on. We have another condition necessary for the formation of mid-latitude cyclone, which is a frictional drag. First one, we said that warm air move, warm subtropical air meet with the colder polar air. Then the second one, they move parallel to each other. The third one is frictional drag. Let's now know into details what is a frictional drag. Okay, frictional drag between the two air masses cause them to interact with each other. This frictional drag causes air. This frictional drag is being caused as a result. This frictional drag occur as a result of different in speed at which both air masses move, and uneven surface over which they move, temperature differences between the land and the sea surface. So we know another necessary condition which is needed for mid-latitude cyclone to occur is frictional drag. So here they explain to us what causes frictional drag. Frictional drag is being caused as a result of different speed of both air masses. We can say that let's say this warm air moves very fast and this cold air moves just slow. It means that frictional drag will occur, which will cause the polar front to deflect. Yeah, but we'll deal with that one when we go to the stages in the formation of mid-latitude cyclone. There's other cause of frictional drag, which is uneven surface over which they move. Uneven surface over which air masses move. Let's say we have mountains here. So when they say uneven surface, they say that let's say here is warm air, then cold air here. Just because of this, or just because of this surface, cold air and warm air will deflect, which causes frictional drag. Frictional drag causes what? Mid-latitude cyclone. Temperature differences over the land and the sea level, sea surface. Okay, let's move. We have already dealt with the condition necessary formation of mid-latitude cyclone. So in the next video we'll be doing the stages in the formation of mid-latitude separately. Yeah.